I hope you've got your cuppa with you. So here we dive into the Temperance card. The angelic realm appears in the Temperance card and connects us to Rainbow Bridge. And it's where souls are carried from the earth to the spirit realm. It's divine communication. So we've got the angelic realm and then we have the earthly realm. And it's all about clear knowing. It's when the angel whispers to us, can you hear me now? Do you see me within you? So learning how to flow and be our own alchemist in life. Knowing that we are spiritual beings on a human journey, blending spiritual awareness with earthly existence and integrating the tensions of the opposites. Moderation is key, so there's no need to give up or quit something here. Rather, it's blending until you find the secret ingredient that produces the harmonious whole, just like she's doing here. Not spilling some out, not filling from another cup. It's blending from these two cups. And notice where the devil sits after this card and death sits before it. So it's a powerful position to meditate in the alchemist, which is temperance. So it's introspection, it's self-actualization, and the right amount of temperance in our lives. So 14, card number 14, 1 represents the magician and 4 represents the emperor, both masculine, and they're both action cards, and they're working with the conscious force of will. And temperance is the outer expression of the Hierophant. So 1 and 4 equals 5. So the conscious mind allows the dogmas of society to be released. So who you might find in temperance are alchemists, artists, musicians, scientists, social people. It's ruled by Sagittarius, and so Sagittarius people are very social, great at marketing, networking, endurance athletes even, travellers, and comedians. There's a lot of humour. I always say when people are looking into starting a spiritual practice, if it's not fun, don't do it. Spirit has a lot of humour, and they want us to have fun in that. If it's too dry and boring, that's not them. You'll feel it, you'll know when you're doing the right thing and how to blend the spiritual world into the physical world. So the weaknesses or the shadows can be doubt, could be alcoholism, addictions, being indulgent, exaggeration, limited thinking, and being too serious. So let's meet the devil. This is always an interesting card when it pops onto the table. I actually don't mind the devil. So after meeting the angelic realm of temperance, we now see the shadow self of the ego and our material desires that have us grasping for the material world to make us feel better about ourselves. So we can act out in certain ways because society demands something from us or believes that, status is important and becoming someone that you're not. So this can be buying a car because the neighbours have one even though you can't afford it. It could be body shaming yourself or others. It could be seen on social media when none of it's true. It could be being nice even. The shadow can come out in, being nice to people when you feel anything but. The ego will twist a story to get its way. So the devil reveals addictions, fear, anger, greed, bondage, jealousy, and negative body image. Think about when was the last time you felt any of those emotions. It can bring up anxiety as well. In the shadow, we are only able to see the light when the love appears to show us our true nature. The devil was a man-made belief to hinder the deep desire for intimacy and ecstasy. And, back when paganism was a religion or, it was spiritual, it was just part of their being, it was part of their nature. And then when man-made religion came along, it said we weren't allowed to see those as gods, the deities. We had to believe in a man, we had to believe in this one story. And this is where the powerful work of the devil can awaken in us, like the bit that I find interesting is that we can find, it's sometimes it can be a cheeky little devil. It can be looking into a cult and finding the things that aren't visible, because this is the things that are hidden. It could be learning about a new spirituality, finding out secrets, that sort of thing. So the devil and the lovers are very similar cards. You can see, they sit side by side. Here's what we see in the outer world. This is what we see in the bedroom. And reduce card number 15, it becomes 6, the lovers. Here we have Archangel Michael, vulnerability. We have the devil and vulnerability. But the way I prefer to see this card is Pan, or the Green Man, which is more about our nature. So people you might meet in the devil card are sexologists, detectives. It could be pregnancy even, a sudden pregnancy that it's a real surprise. It could be Alcoholics Anonymous. It could be esoteric knowledge. And the weaknesses, or the shadow, can be deception, bound to fears, inflated ego, anger, affairs, manipulation. So once we've learned, again, one of the darker nights of the soul cards, our ego breaks through and down through the tower. And the tower is ruled by Mars in Aries. So this can be, we've built up our ego through having a car, a house, clothes, career, and the desire to be noticed, or have some sense of ego inflation that makes us something that we're not. It's a place to hide our true nature, and that's what the tower represents. We're breaking free of this false facade, and that can make us really vulnerable. And when it arrives, it's a relief. The big picture of the tower is that it's our ego finally collapsing, and we're forced to see life with fresh eyes. And it's a good thing. So this change elevates us to the higher level of self-awareness, and it represents our outer shell coming down. It could even be, when you see on the media a high-profile celebrity gets caught doing something really bad, that's their tower moment. Some of them can come out and see the star and come out the other side and actually utilise this as a gift to share with other people. So the tower resonates with number 1, the magician, and number 6, the lovers. So discernment and choices with our self-consciousness, and also reduces to number 7, which is the chariot. And the chariot and all the 7s are about a catalyst for the change. And this is certainly change going on here. So change management is where you'll find this. Demolition, contractors, builders, politicians, protesters. And the weaknesses can be quick to anger, speeding, excessive drinking, and even binge drinking and things like that, binge partying. So once we've broken down the facade, we meet the beautiful star. And the star, now we see the light at the end of the tunnel. The beautiful star, Jung defines the star as individuation and understanding our true destiny or our calling. Here is access to the collective and personal unconscious, so that you can bring and develop access to divine guidance. There's a continual supply of guidance from Spirit to you, always. You just need to look out under the night sky and see that. This can be literal in terms of standing in the spotlight for some people. It could be standing on stage, being on TV. It may be involved in a photo shoot of some kind. So the star represents hope after our dark night of the soul. And it's the song, When You Wish Upon a Star. So 17, the number of 17 is harmony. It's the magician again, number 1, and the chariot, which is achievement. And that catalyst has created this achievement. This then reduces to the strength card, number 8. And 8 represents the infinity symbol, which shows us that we have infinite possibilities. So seeing ourselves as more than just the physical self, we're part of the cosmos. We're made up of stardust. The star is the first in the series of the star the moon, and the sun. And so where you will find the star card is artists, astrologers, astronomy, charismatic personalities. It's the age of Aquarius as well. And the shadow side can be fantasy and egoic, the egoic self that doesn't know how to let go. So here we now will meet the next ones. We'll jump into the moon, the sun, judgment, and the world. So I will be back in a sec.